William Roberts, a.k.a. Phony Rick Ross, the guy who stole the real Rick Ross identity, Freeway Rick Ross, and made millions of dollars off it. You guys know where this is going. So Rick Ross and Meek Mill have their album coming out, their collab album coming out. They are releasing it, from what I can see, independently, with no label backing them. So that's going to be interesting to see how that performs. But during this album promo run, Rick Ross, being irrelevant in every way, which he is right now, irrelevant in every way, decides to drag 50 Cent's name through the mud. And this right here tells you who won the war in this beef. This is exactly, I predicted this shit in 2017. Look at the video. 50 won this war, and here's why. Ross is on a promo run with, quote unquote, his artist Meek Mill, which at one point I will get into Meek Mill. And he's mentioning 50 every chance he gets in hopes that 50 responds, so that all of 30 million followers on Instagram, which is more than Rick Ross, see it. All of his Twitter followers see it. All of his Facebook see it, and 50 gives them more promo. Thankfully, 50 hasn't responded, hasn't said shit about Rick Ross. I think he should keep it that way. I think this is somebody that does not deserve a response because he lost. Rick Ross lost. And this is proof. So, he did an interview. He did quite a few interviews. So, first he did one with Rolling Stone. The interviewer basically kind of shitted on 50 Cent's Give It Should I Try movie. And then Rick Ross said, everything 50 Cent does sucks. Then the journalist explained that the director, Jim Sheridan's career was allegedly finished after directing the 2005 film. And then he said, R.I.P., look what 50 Cent did to you. But at least he got a movie done about him. He took advantage of the system, but oh my God, please, who wants to see a movie about 50? And then, he did compliment the Hate or Love It song, which we know he likes, whatever, which is not a big thing. But anyways, Give It Should I Try the movie. Yeah, I think when it first came out, it wasn't promoted as well. It didn't, I think at the box office, it only made like a $6 million profit. Because they had like a budget of $40 million, and I think it made like $46 million. So let me see. I think it's somewhere around there. I want to get the numbers correct. So it didn't like do really well, but as the years went on, the movie constantly gets played on like TV networks, and a lot of people now love it. Like it's turned into a movie that turned into dare I say, a classic. Yeah, so they had a budget of $40 million, and in the box office, it made $46.4 million. So it's a $6.4 million profit, which isn't a success. That's looked at as like you barely just made it, barely. 50 blamed it on when Eminem releases 8 Mile, he's white, so he had it all over the place in every movie theater. But because I'm black, it wasn't put out as much. That could be because they felt like it wasn't reaching demographics. Like even in Europe, he said they had to change the poster and have a white person in the movie that was in the movie. I forget if there was anybody white in the movie. There probably was, but they had to change it up to where it was more marketable, which back then it was a little bit more of that. Now we got social media, so we don't really need that type of shit. But I mean, the soundtrack was amazing. Yeah, I think it was a pretty decent movie, man. It wasn't the greatest movie ever, but it wasn't that bad of a movie, man. If you had to compare it to all the movies, All Eyes on Me with Tupac was horrendous. Notorious with Biggie was pretty good. Eminem I think had the best one, but 50's wasn't that bad, man. But 50's acting wasn't that good, but it was a pretty decent movie, man. To say that it was a horrendous movie, I disagree with that, but Rick Ross, everything 50 does sucks. Whenever we say, check the scoreboard. Well, we're going to be talking about scoreboards pretty soon here. So let me play the clip where Rick Ross and Meek Mill hop on Complex with Speedy. And Rick Ross throws shots at 50. And you'll see.
You spoke about Meek and Drake. Obviously, y'all are in a great place. Y'all are cool. You said that y'all share music.
Yeah.
Can we see something like that happen for you and 50? Or is that too far gone?
I doubt it. Yeah.
Ross and them used to tell me, like, man, y'all beef, man, y'all going. He told me about Drake. He said, man, 3 years, that shit, y'all be all right,
No,
man.
I told him, y'all niggas gonna be, trust me.
You knew it.
I told, yeah, cause I knew what space he was in, and I knew where Drake was at. And I
I
was
don't
like,
think
yo.
50 Cent and Ross ever going. They getting so rich. Well, Ross getting
No,
so
he
rich.
not. Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't know his business.
No, he not.
Ross getting so rich, I don't even think that's a smart investment to,
No.
to beef with anyone.
Right.
No.
Respectfully to, I ain't got no smoke, but
And I ain't got no
1000%.
jobs for him or nothing.
You're not hired.
No.
I don't think you need a job, but
I'm sure you do.
At minimum, we can respect artistry, and we all love each other. You know, we love good music. It seems like you loved the Hater the Lover song. I saw you was on IG, you was playing it.
Speedy crazy.
I love how you set that up, Speedy, and I'm gonna take the alley hoop like Shaq would. Speedy gave me the alley hoop. I mentioned his mom. You know, she was one of those. So I said it in front of the song, but the song was produced by Cool and Dre, which is my homie.
Legendary.
So the song was a dope song. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you. Yeah.
But I'm a shit on homie. He ain't getting no money. Keep laughing, because it's funny. When he come here, if he ever come here and say, how you feel, Rose getting all that money, nigga? Do him like that.
What you about to say?
I said, no, you ain't doing me like nothing. I'm here just rocking. I'm here rocking with
See,
Rose.
I ain't gonna lie, it looked like you was enjoying it. You said,
no, the shit.
Coming up, I was confused, and you said,
rapping for me.
Nah, you said, woke up the next morning, niggas stole my bike, different day, same shit, you know? You seemed like you really liked that line about the bike or something.
I don't remember. I just like when he mentioned his mama at the beginning. You know the mama part.
Oh my goodness.
Why you laughing?
Yeah,
like
they shit forever. I don't think that shit turning on.
No.
I would love for y'all to get, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that. You know dog ain't getting no money.
Oh man, you guys don't want me to go off on this, man. This is just, he ain't getting no money. Like, come on, man. And the fact that he has the audacity to play off that Hater or Love It record. Like, yeah, I like it, but y'all shit on him. Like, Hater or Love It, first off, is Game's record, but it's started out as a 50 song. Second off, it's a more classic and bigger song than Rick Ross has ever made. I'm almost willing to bet that. I don't even know the Spotify numbers. I don't know the Apple Music numbers. Right now, let's just look it up. Let's just look that up, because I debated with somebody on Twitter, aka X, about 50 winning the war in the battle. And then this guy was like, nah, Ross won the war. He was hotter in the 2010s. 50 fell off musically during the beef and then after, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get down that road and we'll see. And I bet you, a lot of you never thought of this stuff because, I'm Quake. Come on, man. I'm built different. I'm built different. So let's see where Hater or Love It is and where it stacks up. I'm going to go off Spotify numbers because Spotify numbers are more public, so it's easier to see transparency. We're not going to compare full careers because we know 50 is a whole way bigger than Rick Ross. There's not even there's no comparison. If you look at Spotify numbers, 50's got like over 40 million or some crazy listeners, and Rick Ross only has like 7 or 8. So the difference, the plaques, all that shit, records sold, it's a whole. Rick Ross struggled to get just one platinum album. 50's got a diamond one on the way in America. He's got diamond worldwide. If we're just talking America, 50's got, I think, over like 20 million records sold. Rick Ross has got one platinum album and a couple of gold albums. So that's like what? You can add his whole career, 5 million maybe sold total. Just in albums, we're talking. 50's got over like 20 million sold in albums. Just in America. So that's like 4 or 5 times his career. So we're not going to talk about just careers. We're going to talk about full careers. We're going to make it fair, as easy as possible for Rick Ross to compare to 50. So no full careers. We'll just talk about in the 2010s because that's what the debate was. So I'm gonna show you guys that 50 in the 2010s still beat Rick Ross musically. Yeah, that's hard to believe. That's very hard to believe, but you'll see. You'll see what I mean. So let's go over the Hater or Love It and see what Rick Ross's biggest record. Rick Ross's biggest track of his career as a lead artist. What I mean is it's his song. Lead artist is Aston Martin Music in the 2010s. Hustlin' is a little bit bigger. It's like 1 million more listeners, like 1 million more streams than Aston Martin Music. I think Aston Martin Music is like 200. Let's see here. Let's go Rick Ross Spotify streams because this is more public. So I'm just gonna go off Spotify. But usually Spotify, Apple and Spotify are damn near damn near the same type of shit, man. Really, a lot of it's just things here and there. So let's go. So his top record is "Money in the Grave." That's Drake's record. That has 533 million streams. That's Drake's song. Man struggled, so of course Drake gives him alley-oop. Purple Lamborghini, that's a record that is Rick Ross only on there, but that's a track on a movie soundtrack, so that gave him more exposure, blah, blah, blah. Lemon Pepper Freestyle, another Drake alley-oop because Rick Ross can't get anything going. But yeah, let's see. Sorry, I was looking at a different list. So the list is still the same. The Money in the Grave has 908 million streams. Drake alley-oop. Purple Lamborghini movie, 396 million streams. Devil in a New Dress, Kanye's record, 371 million streams. Monster, Kanye's record. Sorry, I got a little confused here. So Monster, Kanye's record again. New Flame, Usher's, I think, or Chris Brown's record. I'm on one, DJ Khaled. So right now, off the bat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has nothing to do with Rick Ross. It's not even his tracks. 6. So his top 6 songs are not his top 5 is not his songs. That's Rick Ross's career in a nutshell. Is other people giving him alley-oops. Finally, we get to the song that he leads in, and it's his biggest song of his career so far. Hustlin', that came out in 2006. So we're not counting it. We're counting 2010s. Fuck it. So Hustlin' is at 206 million. Aston Martin Music, which came out in the 2010s, is his biggest song in his career as a lead artist. It is at number 8 with 205 million. Let's go to Game. I'm just curious. Let's just go to Game Spotify history. Because he's the one that has Hater or Love It. Let's just see. Hater, love it, done the dogs on top. And I'm going to shine on me until my heart stop. Envy me. Riding MVP. Look, by the way, Hater, Love It came out in 2005. Aston Martin Music came out in 2011. Let me see. Might be wrong here. Maybe 2010? 2010. Okay, yeah. 2010. So it's a 5-year difference, but streaming wasn't available at the time. So this just goes to show you how much bigger 50 is. Even the Game has bigger records because of 50. Hater Love It is Game's biggest track of all time in his career. 603 million streams. That is 3 times more than Rick Ross's biggest song of his whole entire career as a lead artist. So Rick Ross says, check the scoreboard. Rick Ross makes fun of these songs. But Rick Ross has never sniffed anything close to 500 million streams at 500 million as a lead artist. Not even sniffed it. He's at 200 million of his career, of his biggest songs. And somehow, in some people's minds, Rick Ross is in any way, shape, or form relatively close to 50. They're not even close. Like 50 is at a whole, just look at the Final Lap tour. You know, Rick Ross, he's broken, he's a job, right? The Final Lap tour is estimated to make about $100 to $150 million. That is Rick Ross's net worth if you Google it. That's his net worth. 50 is grossing on a tour what Rick Ross's net worth is. And these two are somehow the same. 50 signed a Stars deal in 2018, which the deal is probably going to get renewed pretty soon and more money. $150 million. That's Rick Ross's net worth. That's all of Rick Ross's net worth. And one deal 50 did. Vitamin Water. You guys know, $400 million. That's 2.5 times Rick Ross's net worth. And Rick Ross talks like this, and 50 filed bankruptcy, he's broke. If you look at 50 Cent's net worth right now online, it's about $50 million, right? That's clearly false. You want to know why? Because it's easy. It's easy, man. Just look at Effin' Vodka, what he sold it for. That steak that he had. He sold it for $60 million. So how is his net worth $50 million? Your net worth is everything that you own. When Effin' Vodka at the time when he owned it was worth $60 million. That makes no sense. We're not factoring music. We're not factoring investments. We're not factoring TV deals. I got wind. I caught wind. Someone who I know it's very close to 50's team of his PR, because PR handles a lot of stuff. They were going to report, I want to say 2-3 months ago, that 50 Cent is officially a billionaire. They were going to report that. But I got word that 50 decided to just kind of go against it because he's worried about lawsuits again. Like, once people realize you got money, there's going to be a lot of different things. So 50's net worth now is just kind of like, it's been very secretive of what he owns. But I'm not surprised if he's a billionaire. That doesn't surprise me. The guy's made classic records that last forever. The guy's dominating TV. The guy's made smart investments. Him being a billionaire wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me. If he's not a billionaire, he's worth at least $500 million, at least. So what does Rick Ross compare to that? Let's just say Rick Ross's net worth is not accurate. Let's just give him another $100 million, which is insane to give. But, because where's the proof that Rick Ross is worth $150 million? I can prove to you that 50 is not worth $50 million because of F and vodka. Just that deal alone, $60 million. He can't be worth $50 million. That makes no sense. The math is a mathing. So he did a deal, $150 million. That's $210 million like that. So how's 50's net worth $50 million? That's the proof in that. But I can't prove that Rick Ross' net worth is $150 million. I can't prove that. There's no deals that I heard Rick Ross signed of $70 million deal. Now his property, his house, I don't know how much is Rick Ross' house worth. Let me see. $37 million. Okay. So that's a huge price. So yeah, you could, if you got in the house, I'm sure other properties, you add in probably music catalog, you add in things in here, I could potentially see $150 million. He got asked about his net worth in the actual interview, and he said it's not accurate. So it could be lower, it could be higher, because Speedy asked, is it higher, is it lower? Never really answered it. So fuck the net worth and all this stuff. Fuck him clowning about 50, saying he's broke. Let's just go over the 2010s. The argument that people say Rick Ross was blazing hot. We're talking Rick Ross. Everybody says, man, after the 50 beef, Rick Ross got so hot. He got so big. He was killing. He was dominating. 50 got washed, right? That's the narrative out there, right? Let's go in the 2010s. I went into 2010s and I was like, all right, let's see what happened in 2010s. 50 was on the tail end of his career. Meanwhile, Rick Ross was starting to reach his prime. Ross had a lot of help in the music industry. DJ Khaled. Look at all the records. Look, seven songs that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are songs of help from other people. DJ Khaled, I'm on one. Drake, Money in the Grave. Kanye West, Devil in a New Dress. All these records, the one, the Suicide Squad movie, that soundtrack where they put him in there. All that's assists, help. So in the 2010s, he just got a bunch of help. He didn't really do any, it wasn't Rick Ross. Where's BMF? Where's the record BMF on here? Let's go where BMF's at on his, because that's the record that people are like, oh, he's hot, man. He's killing the streets, right? Let's see where BMF's at. BMF is number 35 with only 44 million streams. That's how Rick Ross got hot. You know what number 4? Let's go to 50 Cent's Spotify thing. You know what number 44 is? That for Rick Ross, it is 35 at 44 million streams. I bet you 50 is at 60, song number 60, Spotify stream. Because 50's catalog is so big in streams that it's doesn't even compare. Let's go down the list. Let's see till we get to 40. Look at that. 45 is number 40. Actually, 45, Back Down. Song Back Down. 45 is at 45. So 45 million streams is at 45. Rick Ross is at 35. That's a whole 10 slots down. And mind you, Rick Ross has a lot more albums out. So, let's go in 2010s. I wanted to explore that. I was like, all right, 2010s. Everybody talks about Rick Ross as this hot, blazing artist. Let's go from 2010 to 2020. Blazing artist, 50 Cent as a lead artist in 2010. In the 2010, but in 2010s. Sorry, from 2010 to 2020. We know what record is probably one of the biggest ones. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Anyways, Flip Chick Whip, Get Money. Hard ass record, right? That is number 19 on 50 Cent's list. That is at 200 million streams. That is double platinum song. Rick Ross's best effort in 2010s, the 2010s, was Aston Martin Music. That is number 8 on his list. That is his second biggest song of his career as a lead artist. And that is at 205 million. 50's only lacking by 5 million on that in 2010s. Now let's look at the bigger picture, right? 50 dropped I'm the Man as a free song on the Kanan tape, on a mixtape. He dropped it on Dat Piff. Dat Piff isn't even active anymore. That's how old this shit is. Before streaming was officially introduced into songs in late 2015. He dropped that song as a free record. No record label behind him. Just G-Unit Records has dropped it. Boom, skyrockets. We're going to look at the YouTube views. I'm curious, the YouTube views. Let's see what Aston Martin Music is at. Let's see what YouTube I'm the Man is at. Aston Martin Music, by the way, is a fucking amazing song. I love that record. I would, I heard that it was a Drake song because he played Paris Morton music, but yeah. So I'm the Man 50 is at 309 million. Aston Martin Music is at 366 million. Mind you, Aston Martin Music came out a whole 6 years before I'm the Man, so it had a lot more time to generate a lot more views. I'm guessing in the next 5 years, 50's going to catch up to him and surpass that views on that because 50's is only 7 years old for the music video. Rick Ross is 13 years old, and 50's already starting to catch up to it. So Rick Ross's best effort in the 2010s as a lead artist was Aston Martin Music, featuring Drake, who was a hot artist at the time. I'm not gonna use the features because 50 used Chris Brown, so they both like X each other out. So we don't have to mention the features that like, oh, Rick Ross used Drake for Buzz, and then you could just say 50 used Chris Brown for Buzz. Let's just say they both X each other out, right, as features. But there you go. Everybody says, oh, Rick Ross was dominating 2010s. 50 catapulted his career. Ross wasn't dominating shit. Drake was dominating. Wale was his own art. Meek Mill and Wale were dominating more than Rick Ross, the person who signed them. Which you could say is a successful thing because you would want your artist to succeed you. Lil Wayne, Drake succeeded Lil Wayne. 50 to a certain extent succeeded Eminem. At a certain point he was hotter than Eminem. You want that to happen, but it's kind of embarrassing when it's the first effort and it just it just kind of looks weird. So Meek Mill is doing better than Rick Ross at one point, has more platinum albums. So Rick Ross's best effort in the 2010s, it did as good as 50's worst effort in his 50 didn't even try. 50 just dropped that song. That just shows you the difference of careers and levels. There's levels to this shit. And if 50 really tried and really put effort towards an album and said, you know what? I'm going to fucking literally focus on this album. I'm going to get high-powered features. I'm going to get the best producers. I'm going to work. He'll wash these numbers, especially in streaming days. Oh, he'll wash these numbers. Not even a fucking question. Just look at the final lap tour. Rick Ross could never in his career do a tour like that. Never. If he tried it right now, nobody would be going to that shit. Like that? Nah, man. He's not going to sell out 40,000 people. 30,000 people, 20,000. He might sell out 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 if it's in his home area of Florida. Maybe I'll give him that. If he brings out Drake, maybe more people will buy it because he needs Drake. Drake is the handicap for Rick Ross. If it wasn't for Drake, Rick Ross would have been irrelevant a long time ago. He's lucky he has a relationship with Drake because look at all the hits Drake's given this guy. Come on, man. Your biggest song is a Drake record. It's not even you. Fuck it. Even if your biggest song had a feature in it, at least it's your song. But it's not even your record. 50, look at biggest song in the club. By himself, solo dolo. No help, nothing. No feature, nothing. Candy Shop, what do you feature? Olivia, it's his own artist. Doesn't even fucking Olivia wasn't even really known when she was on the hook. Whatever. So give it Olivia. PIMP, himself, solo dolo. Hater Love is up there. That's with Games. That was his record, but gave it to Game. 21 Questions, Nate Dogg. The Woo was obviously Pop Smoke's record. Just a Little Bit, Solo Dolo. Mini Men, Solo Dolo. How We Do, Down on Me, Hate Being Sober. If I Can't, Solo Dolo. Disco Inferno, Solo Dolo. Best Friend, Solo Dolo. Patiently Waiting with Eminem. I'm the Man, Chris Brown. AO Technology, Justin Timberlake, Timbaland. Window Shopper, Solo Dolo. So a lot of Solo Dolo records, man. So I say all this to say, Rick Ross is not that big of an artist. Rick Ross struggles to go platinum. Rick Ross is not who people think he is, man. This whole perception of he became this huge artist that blew the fuck up and skyrocketed. And now if Ross was doing 500,000 first week and going double, triple platinum during this time after the beef with 50. Let's just say he dropped, you know what's funny? During the beef, 50 outsold Ross. Look at RIAA, the certifications. Before I Self-Destruct is gold, and Rick Ross' album Deep in the Rap has no certification. It's not even gold. Now, obviously, those got to get updated. I'm sure right now, Before I Self-Destruct will probably be platinum. Deeper Than Rap might be gold or platinum. Who knows? But at that moment, 50 was outselling Ross still. And yeah, people were saying Ross is hotter, Ross is doing more. It seemed like Ross had this illusion that he was doing better because he was featured with Drake, featured with Kanye, featured with Nicki Minaj, featured with all these artists. And it just seemed, it gave this illusion that he was this big guy. And then, yeah, Maybach Music popped off a little bit. Cool. Meek Mill did his thing, but Wale did their thing. Cool. But was it G-Unit? No. Maybach Music didn't even come close to what G-Unit was. Like, if we compare careers, 50 just washes this guy. Like, in the club, takes like fucking a lot of these slots, bro. Like, you can add, look, so in the club, as a lead artist, in the club is at 1.3 billion streams. You know how many songs as a lead artist Rick Ross had to stack up just to match that record? Hustlin', Aston Martin Music, Gold Roses, Stay Schemin'. I don't even know. A lot of these things are featured, man. Jeez, man. A lot of these are featured. This guy does not have Push It, Dice Panel. You have to add like 10 tracks on Rick Ross' career just to match in the club and streams. Like, that just tells you right there. So enough of me talking about that. I just wanted to kind of deal with the facts here. I think a lot of people that argue with me, like on Twitter when the guy argued, I presented numbers to him. And I get it. In the streets, in the culture, he was dominating. People were fucking with him, but their sales didn't reflect it. The numbers didn't reflect it. Let's check Rick Ross's chart history on the Billboard. I'm just curious. Let's see what his chart history is on Billboard. Has he ever had a top 10 hit? No. Zero number one hits. 0. 3 top 10 hits. And guess what, guys? None of them is his songs. Number 10 was I'm On One. That hit top 10. Money in the Grave, Drake, Rick Ross, number 7. And let's see. Lemon Pepper Freestyle, Drake. So Drake has just been alley-ooping this guy, helping this guy remain whatever relevant that he can remain. If it wasn't for Drake, Rick Ross would be nowhere right now. Like, literally nowhere. Aston Martin Music, Drake. Lemon Pepper Freestyle, his biggest song, Drake. I'm On One, Drake's on there. Drake, Money in the Grave. Fucking 4 or 5 of his biggest songs have Drake involved in it. Let's see where Aston Martin Music. That peaked at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100. Number 30. With a major label pushing it. Major label, Def Jam. Major album release, Teflon Don. And still, number 30. I'm the Man never charted on the Billboard Hot 100, so yeah, he wins on that. But the numbers add up, man. The numbers add up. Matched him on a lot of these numbers, man. Damn near close. Aston Martin Music is 3 times platinum. I'm the Man is double platinum. One got released as a free mixtape song with no promo. One got released on a major label with a major artist that was hot buzzing at that moment and pushed to hell. And still, yeah. Anyways, no comparison. Rick Ross's biggest hit as a lead artist. Let me see. The Boss, the Boss. That's number 17. Okay. That featured T-Pain, which is a huge artist at the time. Of course, Rick Ross needs an alley-oop. Look at this Hustlin' when peaked at number 54. We're talking about Hustlin', bro. BMF peaked at number 60. This is when Rick Ross was taking over and becoming this huge artist that everybody was talking about. Yeah, the biggest record is The Boss of T-Pain. And that peaked at number 17. He doesn't even have a top 10 record as a lead artist. Check the scoreboard, Rick Ross. Check the scoreboard. I wish Rick Ross was here, man. I'd be like, what scoreboard are you talking about? What numbers are you looking at here? I'm confused. So, at the end of the day, man, what it comes off as is Rick Ross being bitter that 50 didn't want to work with him because Rick Ross looked up to 50. There's an interview before the beef where he says, I love 50 Cent's business mind. He's a genius. Meek Mill, same situation. Meek Mill wanted to sign with 50 at one point. 50 didn't want to do it. Then Meek Mill went to T.I. That ended up going bad. Then Meek Mill went to Rick Ross, and that's the deal. So the animosity comes from that. 50 not wanting to fuck with them. And it's that simple. There's nothing more to look into. Rick Ross doesn't hold a candle to 50's career. And that's it. It's really that simple. Rick Ross can maybe rap better. He has better bars than 50, but 50 overall as an artist is way better. Flow, delivery, all that shit. Hooks, more memorable records. Ross will never have a song like In the Club ever in his career. I can guarantee you that. I can put all my life savings on that. The next 20 years, he'll never come up with a song like that good. So yeah, that's it. That's the argument. If you have anything to debate with me, just let me know, man, because I have the numbers here to prove it. So.